I'm sorry. It's been a hot minute since I've been on here. I've had so much going on in my work life, my personal life. Anyhow, this is what I'm going to be showing you. I know it's so dark. I love it. This is my feature wall in my bedroom. I finally decided what I was going to do. I don't have any art up here right now. I'm going to try to get something up on here before I post it to you guys. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Christine. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. Throw me some comments, you guys. I love to hear from you. And let's get going to this big project. I appreciate it. Okay, y'all. I was not going to film this, but I figured I might as well. So a few years back, this is how my projects get put off. I had painted my bedroom. It was like an avocado green for real. But now it's like this ice blue, but it lends a lot white. So I want to do a feature wall. And this is one of the projects I did. I think I showcased this on my channel a while back. And this is just, you go to the Dollar Tree or wherever and you get the, oh gosh, y'all, the silicone stuff, and you put that on there, or putty stuff, and let it dry, and then I just painted it. So I'm leaning towards that color for my feature wall. Okay, so I'm gonna flip you around. This is what I've been looking at now, and it's not showing up true. It's avocado green, but this is what I've been looking at now since. That's nice, pretty. Whoa, y'all, I had painted a hummingbird years ago by hand. Anyhow, so I've got a few more cracks and speckles to get off. This is a decal. I've already tried to take it off. I'm going to try again with my Scotty peeler, see if that works. If not, I'm just going to have to sand that bad boy down so that I can paint it. But it's just one wall behind my bed is what I'm going to do my feature on. And I'll show you that in just a minute. First, I'm going to get to work spackling. When I tell y'all I hate a wall anchor, y'all, watch my thumb. Look at that. Some of them I could screw out. Look, it is in there. These two screwed out, but y'all, look how big the holes are they leave. This one, I don't know. I think it got pushed all the way in there. So I got to spackle this. So good luck. I'm going to put some spackle in there and let that be drying, and then we're going to move on to, I'm going to have to sand this. It's got a little bit of texture to it. And then, like I said, I had spackled some parts before. I'm just going to have to go over it, make sure my wall's smooth, and then wipe my wall down. For those of you who might not know, this is your spackling. And it comes in a tub, but I found this tube so you can push it out. I like it much better. The tub seems to dry on me a lot. So I just use my finger lots of times. I get a mess, but you can use a putty knife, certainly. So, but the tube allows you to just concentrate it in that hole. And then I just can take my finger and rub it out and try to get that as even as possible. That's the thing, is you want to get that even. And you don't want to have to do a whole lot of extra sanding. So you see I got a lot out here, and I could actually come back and clean that up, but that's fine. But anyhow, you want to just level out that hole. So think of it, my little crafters, as doing a mold for your crafts. Kind of the same thing. So there you go. But this is the pink stuff, and it will dry white. And then when it's all white, then you know that it's good to sand then. this is our cap. And the reason why I picked this cap is because it is exactly 3/8 inch thick, so it fits my trim board perfectly. And I'm probably turning it upside down, you guys, but I want it to work, and I didn't want to have to cut a whole bunch of measurements, a whole bunch of boards down. I wanted to do this on my own. So what we're doing is we're just going to the baseboard with our molding piece. Baseboards will get replaced because they are messed up and we're redoing flooring in here, but at the time being, I'm just going to put it to the top because the baseboards I get are going to be the same height. So I'm hoping that makes sense to you guys. I'm going to try to get you around here a little bit better. I'm hoping you can see this good. Anyhow, so I'm just putting my board and batten board, that's what I'm going to call it, down on top of my baseboard. Put my trim piece on top of that. I will level this, I promise you, but I'm just wanting to get a mark here. Okay, so right now we're going to start with a line there, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side of the window. We got the window to work with here too, so we're just going to have to work around that. All right, I have measured my room, and this is my midway point. I know it gets a little squirrely around here, that's fine. And here's my measurement for the top of my board. Now I'm just going to center my first board, okay? So it's going to be half of my measurement. Now these baseboards down here, I was going to leave them in place, but have decided, I know y'all, my carpet's nasty. That's why it's coming up. I have decided that I am going to go ahead and pull these up as I go along so that when we put new ones in, we don't damage this trim. I just don't want to damage this trim. So if I have to go slightly under, and I feel like whenever we get to ripping out the carpet and ripping out that padding and everything, I have my bedroom slippers on. I feel like we've got plenty of room then. Of course, we'll have the hardwood on top of this, but we'll have plenty of room. So I feel good about that. We can always rip baseboards down if we need to. My husband can do that, but I'm gonna go ahead and take my tools, which is going to be, I'm going to use my little X-Acto knife to score off any caulking that's up there holding it, and then I'm going to use a hammer, and this is a little plastic pry bar. I don't know if that'll work, but I have my handy dandy heavy duty one, and it's little, so I'll be able to pull these up. Now my intention is to pull them up, but to leave them there as a measurement all along whenever I'm going and cutting. And once you get these baseboards started, it's just a matter of then working your way down the line. And I'm not even using my hammer here because this is coming up so well, but just working your way down the line and separating that from the wall. And then this is a joint, so this is just going to pop out. And then, like I said, we can then remove these, but I could just leave them sitting there so if I needed it for my measurements. All right, I want y'all to see this because you never know what you're going to get with a house. Our house is built in the 70s. This room was added on. There's no nails in this baseboard. There's no glue to the wall. There's no nails. I think all they did was put it down. And then they just took and installed the carpet up against it. That is crazy. There are no nails, you guys. None. I don't know. Like, there's a nail hole, but there's no nail. Never know what you're going to find. I'm going to use a combination of liquid nails and my brad nailer and put these boards up. And I'm not going to put a whole lot of nails in this. I'm just going to let the liquid nails kind of do its job mostly. Okay. I've gotten my first little few strips up. I'm really close to the wall, so I apologize in advance. But I've got my first few strips up. I decided they are exactly 2 feet apart. I just like the looks of that. So I'm probably going to end up with a little bit more boards. I bought 10. I just wasn't sure what I wanted really. So I ended up with 2 feet apart. Make sure you caulk. There are going to be gaps in here. See, so caulking is your friend. So once I get these up, I'm going to lightly sand this, probably with just my little finger sander. There's just a little rough edges, but I don't want to like take it down and round off the edges. And then we're going to be putting that base cap on front, so that on top of it. That's going to be easy though, because everything's going to be level at this point. So what I'm doing to level once I get started is I'm just making sure I've got a level one of those boards, and then I'm putting it up top, and then I'm using the level to make sure that that's level. So that's how I'm leveling it. And then I'm just using the same level is exactly 2 feet. So I'm using it in between to get that measurement. And then I just take my liquid nails and put it on the side that has the tag on it. I'm not trying to get that tag off. And then I'm just going to flip that over wherever my line is at. And then I stick some brad nails in it. Now I am only doing 3 per board. You got that liquid nails, you're not going to need any more than that, but that's one of my nails there. And like I said, I'm only doing 3 per board. And I've got my measurement on my brad nailer so that it just goes level with the board. Just makes it clean. All right, you guys. Oh, we're a little dark. There we go. We got some light now. So doesn't that look so nice? So this is to the window. Now, eventually, I want to kind of frame out this window, but for right now, I'm just going to take my little cat piece. Let me get a hold of it so we can get an idea what this is going to look like. So I'm just going to run it from straight across. Okay, because I'm not doing anything to that wall over there. This is our feature wall, so this is the only wall that's getting anything. And it's just a shame that the bed's going to cover most of this. But it's you got to see it on the other side, so it's still going to be pretty. So we're just going to install this. So I'm just going to measure. Oh, y'all. Okay. We're a little short. Did y'all see it? We're about that short. Okay. We're just going to get it installed, make sure that it's level. You're not paying attention to me. I'm a hot mess today. We're just going to get it installed, make sure it's level, and we'll cut that little piece. And I think am I going to miter it? Should I miter it? I'll think of that. Okay. Think I've had a change of plans. I'm kind of liking this. So, board on here. I don't care if they're long. I really don't care if they're just butted up to each other straight. I'm gonna caulk them real good and then paint them. Yeah, I think I like that. So that there, then. Let me get it. Oh, this piece is so long. Then that. Oh, yeah. That's the way to go. That's what I'm going to do. Change of plans. And another trip to Lowe's. Okay. Just a few more boards. I don't have much left to do. Be all right. I'm making the right choices. Okay, so here I'm just going to show you guys me working through measuring between the boards. And like I said, my level is exactly 2 feet. And that was the distance I chose between the boards. So I just measured to the end of it, and that's going to be the front side of each board. That makes sense. So I got exactly 2 feet in between. So here I'm just measuring from the top of that baseboard, and I'm going to check my measurements to make sure that the others are that distance off the floor as well to cut the small pieces up underneath the window itself. So I'm just putting my liquid nails on the back, and then I'm going to hold it up there and use my brad nailer to nail that in place. And again, I'm only using like 3 nails in the board because the big glue part of it is going to be the liquid nails itself. And I figured out it was just easier to go ahead and caulk as I go along. So that's what I'm working through here. And I'm just going to show you some more of me working through the boards and getting my measurements and working that piece. And then we're going to move on to painting, you guys. I am over halfway through at this point, and I am feeling so good about this. So I just did the last little short piece up underneath the window, and I've already got my line there where it goes. I put my liquid nails on the back. I'm placing my piece, and then we'll put it all the way up to the window because that's what I measured it for. And again, later on down the line, I want to reframe my windows, but that's another project for another day. So right now, we're just going to butt it up with that piece. It's important, important, important to make sure that your project is level. Now, when you put the first brad nail in, you still got some leeway. You can move these little boards around. And liquid nails is not instant, so you've got some time to move around, but just make sure that your project is level. And again, I do have that line drawn where the boards are supposed to be, so I have that to go by as well. And here I am just coming back real quick and using my caulk gun. I kind of fill in the holes with my fingertips. That's just easier for me. And then we're just going to clean up all of that caulking before we go to painting. But as we finish up the boards, y'all, then we know we've arrived because then it's paint time. I measured this side several times, and again I measured from the floor to the top of my other boards because this is on the other side of the window, so it's hard to make sure that it's level with the left side. So I just measured, measured, and measured and made sure I got it right. And then we're just going to continue, and we're almost done at this point.
Y'all finished up the trim. Look how good it looks. Tell me what y'all think. And here we're on to painting. So I'm not going to show you a whole bunch of me painting because it's just painting. So I just come in with a brush and I do not tape off. So, that's just me. I am a messy painter, but I can paint a good even line. I'm just messy. I end up with paint, y'all, on my toes, all over me. But so we're just doing trim work. I did most of the trim work first, and then I'm coming back with my roller to fill in. It did take a solid two coats. Now you would think because it's such a dark paint, but sometimes I've found that the darker paints are hard to get a good coverage. So it did take a good two coats. And of course, the second coat's always easier because the first coat's fresh. It just goes on smoother. Not sure why that is. I guess your wall's smooth, it's clean, it goes on smoother. But I was so glad to get to this point. All right, y'all, it's finished up. Oh my gosh. Now I've got another piece of artwork that I'm probably gonna thrift flip to put beside that gold. I don't know. It looks like Mickey Mouse ears to me. But anyhow, y'all, look how nice this looks. I don't know what's floating in front of my camera. Ignore that. Y'all, let me know what you think. It is dark, but my lighting's not the best. I love it because it's moody. And again, it's just the one wall. I think this would be so beautiful in this color in a bathroom or a study as well. It is called Naval by Sherwin Williams. Y'all send me some love. I appreciate you guys. Y'all have a blessed week. You are awesome.